Hey, it's me, Bria, and I'm a lifestyle coach. I help moms reclaim their time and energy. Look at you, taking this moment to recharge. I see you. During the Doulas Bloom podcast, I share tools and resources with my clients and community to spend time with themselves. The key to you living as your authentic self is embracing change and having courage. Your relationship with yourself is the only true constant in life, and observing yourself throughout each season will allow you to always be in alignment with the desires of your heart. Are you interested in joining my one-on-one coaching program? You can book a sales call with me by visiting the link in the description to schedule your session today. Before we get started, I have to remind you of your influence because you are an inspiration. Hey everybody, and happy International Women's Month. I am so excited for this series. I have been hard at work all of February recording with amazing women to bring you their stories. I created the Girl Chat series not only to share the stories of amazing women, but to also create time capsules of our growth. I think it's so important for us to go back and witness ourselves. And through this series, I have created a little time capsule, not only for me, but also for the women who joined me in these chats. We get to go back and witness ourselves in these moments. And I teach my clients and my community to do this on a monthly and weekly level. And so I'm so excited to expand and grow this series as time goes on. It's going to be so interesting to have guests come back on to the series. But I'm getting ahead of myself. If this is your first time here, my name is Bria. I am a lifestyle coach. I host the Doulas Bloom podcast. I am the creator of the Doulas Bloom community, and I am the leader of the village. So I'm so excited to bring you this March 2022 cohort of Girl Chats. I have committed to doing this every year, as last year in 2021, I did a series, an IGTV series of Girl Chats, which will also be shared during this month, that has inspired me to continue to share stories and to have conversations with women about their stories and their lives and what's brought them to this point. So for the rest of March 2022, you will be getting stories from 20 plus women about their stories, about where they are right now and what has brought them to this point. And I am so excited to do this again. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's shared so openly in this series. And I am so excited to hop right into this conversation. Clearly, you clicked on this one because something in the title or the description, or you know the person who's going to be on this chat. I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I am so looking forward to our conversation about where you are a year from now, 2 years from now. I'm just excited to have you back for another Girl Chat. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to stop rambling and hop right into this conversation because it is so beautiful, and I don't take any of this for granted, and that's why I really had to come in here hot before we even got into the conversation just to share that. And yeah, I'm gushing right now, but thank you so much for listening, you as the viewer who's experiencing this conversation, this Girl Chat, and thank you to everybody who's been on the Girl Chat in its entirety. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let the Girl Chat go. But if you're interested in being part of a Girl Chat with us here on the Doulas Bloom podcast, let me know. You can go to the description. There's a link down there for you to join the wait list. There's a wait list, y'all. There's a wait list for the Girl Chats because so many people wanted to be a part of this, and I'm just excited because we're gonna have more Girl Chats here in the future. So if you want to be a part of the next cohort, you need to join the wait list. Okay, have these conversations, share your story, share your insights and your gems with the community, and let us know what's going on. I don't want us to hide and think that we don't, like, our stories aren't enough. Like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much from the women in my life, and that's why this series means so much to me. But again, I want to create space for you to enjoy this conversation. And again, thank you so much to everybody who's listening, who's being a part of this series. I am happy that you're here. Again, if you want to be a part of this series, you can join the waitlist. The link is down below. You can go to doulasbloom.com/podcast guest to join the waitlist. So without further ado, it's time for a Girl Chat. Bria here from Doulas Bloom, and it's time for a girl chat. I am so excited for Zoel to be coming on today to chat with us. So I'm gonna wait for Zoel to come in. Hello. Hi, Zoel.
Hello.
I'm so hyped for this.
Me too.
Okay. Zoel, tell everybody a little bit about yourself while I kind of calm myself down a little bit.
Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Zoel Esperanza. I broke a nail yesterday. Just want to acknowledge that. I did them myself, so they were kind of shoddy to begin with. I am a content creator. I do things. A lot of my content is centered around self-care, self-love, self-development, and just recognizing your path and things that you want to do and like following that path. Oh my gosh, someone said my favorite YouTuber. My day has been made. I love you. You're so amazing. Yeah, I paint. So I'm actually low-key an artist. I have like prints on my Instagram, and I sing. I write music. So just a whole lot of different things that make me feel good, and I'm very fluid. And I believe in living multiple lives at once.
Yes, the multiple lives at once. I'm here for that. We were talking briefly before we hopped on for the live that I stayed up last night to listen to Umi's listening party last night on YouTube, and I was like, I want to write music so bad because like I'm a poet at heart and like I love writing, but it was like just to see the way that she like vibes out and like they did like jam sessions. She was like, give me a word. And she was like, make drum beats that sound like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's how I want to make music.
God.
Like, it was so beautiful. Oh, I can't wait for it to be like published so we can like watch it again because it was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds so good.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Let me stay focused because I will get distracted. Where are my notes? I got them. They're here. So the first kind of question that I want to start with is just to tell the story about like how we met. How did we get to know each other? How did we cross paths? Like, what was your first impression of me? Let's just share the story. I'll let you go first.
Okay, so my POV real quick. I briefly started a podcast. She's been on pause, but I started a podcast, and I really just wanted to open up a space for people to tell stories. I didn't really have a specific objective other than that on that podcast. And I think you started following me, and I just kind of opened up the floor to anyone who wanted to be a part of the podcast or had a story that they wanted to tell. And through the podcast, it like opened up a dialogue, and I had you on my podcast. It was an amazing session, and like we immediately became friends because it was just such good energy. And then we started collaborating on a few other things. We did a podcast on your Spotify podcast. And we also would just like check in on each other and like watch movies together and just, like build the friendship. So here we are now doing another collab. I'm so glad to be here. Like it's so fun. I learn so much from you every time we talk. So I'm just excited to see what unfolds.
My heart. Obviously I was following you first, and I have to say the first time I met you was on your cousin's YouTube channel. You were on Kiana's channel, and you guys were doing something together, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are amazing. If I could ever work with anyone, I would. And so when you started your channel, I had to hit subscribe. And I was like, okay, when somebody was like my favorite YouTuber, I was like, me too, my favorite YouTuber. Like, you share such great content, like, and it's so wholesome. So like it was really easy for me to be like, yeah, let me get on the podcast. Let me just like shoot my shot. Let's see if I can, let's be friends. Like,
I think that's so funny. Like with social media, it feels like there's so much distance, but I mean, like I'm a real person. You can reach out to me, and it just kind of, it makes things feel just very untouchable. But that's definitely something that I don't want anyone to feel like on my platform. It's just an open space. It's a community. Like, that's the goal, really, is just to build a safe space and a community on my channel. So
Right.
I'm excited.
No, it's so, like, I'm so happy to be a part of your community. Like, I think I commented on your last video and I was like, can't wait to try out Humankind. Like,
Yes.
what? I've been trying to, like, try zero waste products out and stuff. I was like, I'm so happy to be here right now. I'm so happy. So it's like, not only have, like, because you said that you learn so much every time we talk, and it's like, I learned so much just by being in your presence, like, by immersing myself in Zoel's energy. Like, we already said we're going to Costa Rica together, so wait for the pictures.
Yes. Yes.
We are going to Costa Rica together.
Yes.
But I think it's funny because I was so nervous. I don't know if anybody goes back and watches that podcast, like, or listens to the podcast episode for the Rotten Olive.
Mm-hmm.
My voice was shaking. I was like,
oh, girl.
Like, I was so nervous.
I couldn't even tell. I was like, wow, she's well informed. She knows what she's talking about. She's a good storyteller. I didn't get any of that.
Yay! I'm so happy my anxiety didn't get the best of me.
Yeah. Also, if anybody was wondering about that podcast, it's on my website, and there's like a little tab, and it says The Rotten Olive. That's my podcast.
Right.
You can check it out on my website.
And if you want to listen to our episode together, I think it was Hippies Aren't for White People, or Hippies Aren't Only for White People, or something. Yeah, that was about a year ago now, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's so long ago. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing though, because we've been friends for a year now, and I felt 0 time, which I think is so beautiful.
I feel like we've both grown so much, but we can get into that as we talk a little bit more. But I want to ask you the next question. I wrote down here, what is the biggest obstacle or challenge that you had to work through to get to the person and the version of yourself that you are right now in this moment?
Oh my gosh, I can answer that so quickly because that is something that I have revisited not that long ago, and it was just letting go of limiting beliefs. I think we have a tendency to like hold on to negative thoughts.
Yeah.
I had a yoga teacher who described it perfectly. Let me see if I can reiterate it. So basically she said negative thoughts are like eggs, and your brain is the pan. When we just like crack an egg and put it right into the pan, it sticks, it gets all messy and like scrambled and all that kind of stuff. But a good thought is like oil. So you have to have a good balance so that you're like properly frying the egg and you're not just scrambling all your thoughts. So that's something that I have always taken with me, and there have been points in my life where I was just letting negative thoughts and limiting beliefs run my life, but you can choose what you allow to live in your head rent free. And I was like, look, the negative thoughts just they're evicted. They can't stay here. They're not welcome here. Like, y'all messing up my home. My body and my mind is my home. I can't have that.
Right.
So I just had to let it go, and yes, everybody's watching, but also nobody's watching. Like, you do the things that make you feel good, and when people are watching, you want them to take notice of the beautiful things about you, the things that you're passionate about. I don't want my negative behaviors or my negative thoughts or my insecurities to define me.
Yeah.
So I just spend as much time as I can being my most true and authentic self, because I want that to speak to who I am and not just the things that I'm afraid of or afraid to do.
Right. The scrambled egg analogy is so good. Like, you need enough oil. You need enough oil in the pan. And I've been going through this because I hired a business coach a few weeks ago. And on the first coaching call, I was like, this is my situation. This is what I'm going through. And she was like, okay, cool. Like, she's just, catching a feel for me. The next coaching call, she's like, okay, Bria, this is a problem. Where's this, like, why is your home life hindering you from, like, being able to grow your business? And so I'm doing, like, this 30-day, like, mindset shift to, like, get some more oil in the pan to get some better thoughts. And some days are better than others, but Today is a good day. I'm thinking really good
I'm so
thoughts. I'm happy to be
happy.
here on live because I was telling Zoel before we hopped on, I was like, I was a little low energy before I saw your face. I was. My period was getting to me. I was not having it. And then like just being in your energy immediately, I was like, I'm ready for this. I'm here for this.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
and that's just the point. Like, surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
Do it. Because like my energy literally shifted once I saw your face.
Oh my
So
gosh.
thank you for being my
Thank
light
you
today.
for having me. I'm so glad to be here. It's such a good vibe. But gratitude has just
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say fixed all my problems, but I mean she took care of a lot of them. Just having
Yeah.
gratitude for everything, it completely shifted like my mindset. And I believe in God or spirit, energy, mother, whatever you want to call it. And
Mhm.
just praying and having gratitude and manifesting and like having faith has really just helped me shift into such a better space, and it allows me to like just be better for other people because I used to be just so sad all the time, and I'm so glad that I finally like moved out of that.
Yeah. That is ooh, I've been there. I know that's like to be sad all the time. Whew. Okay, let me refer back to my notes because let's see. So we were like talking about what obstacle you had to work through to get to that was your biggest obstacle, limiting beliefs. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like and it's not like the limiting beliefs are gone and then you have happy thoughts for the rest of your life. Like there'll be some new negative thoughts coming in and you'll have to remedy those ones as well.
Yeah.
But let's see. What dream are you working towards right now?
Oh, okay. So currently, my goal is just to be financially independent. I don't live alone, and there are things that I still do need help with, especially
Mhm.
as a creator. Um, I don't really have as much consistency as someone with like a 9 to 5 in terms of my income or like the amount
Yeah.
of money that I'm making per like brand deal or whatever the case is. So my main focus has just been not to compromise my content for a paycheck, but like also get the check.
Say
Because
it again.
yeah, I really value my authenticity, and like if I sacrifice that, then I
Yeah.
also sacrifice the community, and that's literally the foundation of my platform. So it's not something that I'm willing to give up. So even if it means it takes longer for the money to come in, I'm okay with that. There's already movement in that department, but really, I'm really grateful that I have people to help me and who are willing to hold space for me while I'm like figuring everything out. And I am just taking it day by day. I'm trying to take my time because like I said, I don't want to compromise my content.
I am going to embody you next week because like literally I feel like we're such in a similar boat and like as I'm trying to adopt like these more positive what's the word I'm looking for? More like nourishing thoughts like that are actually going to help me get to where I want to go.
That's beautiful,
I
nourishing
it's
thought.
like it's so difficult when you're doing it by yourself. I did a tarot reading before we hopped on and I pulled the 5 of Swords and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like and basically that card is it was telling me that I had unbrailing ambition. So it's like I was like everything is just moving so quickly and I don't know how to like ground myself, which is
Yeah.
very true.
Mm.
And so just to hear you say that like you appreciate the help and you're not in a place yet where you can support yourself. We talked about this before, how we just want to support our fur babies and ourselves and we'll be happy. But it's just
Yeah,
like being alone is so like we forget that like there's other people out there going through the same thing.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that because
Yeah.
I need to hear it. I'm sure someone else also needs to hear it because we both don't live alone. We live in with our families. You're away from Jude right now, which is
It's okay. He's
I
okay.
love pets. I know how it is to be away from
Yeah.
your emotional support animal. But thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's also something that I had to reconcile recently is even I think sometimes even when you're in a room full of people you can feel lonely, but just
yeah,
because you feel lonely doesn't mean that you're alone. And for me, I would be surrounded by people all the time and just feel like this intense loneliness or just aloneness or like no one understands me. But
yeah,
that came from a limiting belief, which was that my feelings are too big, I'm too much, like
yeah,
I'm a burden. But all of those things, they don't. It's valid to feel that way, but they don't have to be true. Like I don't have to
yeah,
give them power or validity to be true for me. Um, and just like asking, like praying for or manifesting people in your life who are aligned with you, and even if you feel lonely, like it just might take time for you to align yourself with people who are trustworthy and can hold space for your feelings.
yeah. I want to let everyone know who's here. If you have any questions for us, you can definitely drop them in the comments and we'll address them. And when you said that about like surrounding yourself with people, like literally this time last year, I was like manifesting more meaningful and like lasting and healthy like friendships and relationships. And I remember after we recorded for my podcast, how I was just like, it's happening. Like this is the
Oh,
moment where I've manifested, like it's happening, it's here. And
that's
like I remember going for a walk and just dancing and being happy, and it's just like, uh, I love reminiscing on the past. If you haven't noticed, I'm so nostalgic. I love going back and having like a full circle moment. But it's just
I feel
like
like
I'm so
so
happy.
good. That's so good to just acknowledge the blessings. That's part of the reason why I journal so that I can like flip back on things and
Yeah,
remind myself like this came to fruition. This happened in my life. I asked for it and it came. That is something to be grateful for. Look at all these beautiful things that are unfolding that sometimes you forget about because you're stressed,
yeah.
overwhelmed. You just come back to the gratitude and it just like puts things back into perspective.
That is so good. I think I shared it with you too, my like wins from February and like how I like self-talk, because like I literally after the moment passes, I forget, and then my brain tells me you're not doing enough, you're being unproductive, like you should be doing something, like ugh, what are you doing? And so when I go back and I watch it, I'm like, actually today I did a lot. So like I do I do that a lot with Snapchat. Just I don't send it to anyone, but I save it and just like if I'm ever feeling like I didn't accomplish anything, I'm like, let's go back in the vault. What did past Bria do?
Oh,
Thank you for like savoring that moment and taking me back to that feeling, because like I like sitting in feelings, whether it's good or bad, but
that's
that
so
helps me ground myself and not feeling like a complete failure. It happens sometimes. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
that's valid, but you're not a complete failure. I know how
I
hard you
know.
work. You work really hard, and I'm very proud of you.
Thanks. Don't hype me too much. Stop. Okay. Whew. Don't cry, Bria. Okay. Next
That's
question.
okay.
What? Thank you for allowing me the space to cry.
Thanks for feeling safe. I'm glad that I can just
Woo.
be safe for you.
If it was just the two of us and not an audience, I would definitely cry right now. But right now, the tears have gone back since I told them that they couldn't come out. And I'm going to ask you the next question.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna take a sip of my
let's all hydrate together.
little tea.
Cheers. I have my tea from like this morning. It's kind of cold, but that's how I like it. So
Yeah,
it's
mine is
here.
iced, if you will. Really, just it's been sitting out for too long, so it's.
That's the best. I find it's the best way when you forget it, and then I'm like, oh snap, I drank all my tea, and then I go back and there's just a little bit left.
I'm not even mad because it's been like the tea bag's in there for a while, so it's super flavorful.
Right. Okay, we had our hydration moment. Here we go. What challenge are you currently working through? Like, what is something that you're facing, like, today or tomorrow, but, like, what's present for you, like, right now?
Well, recently, I was spending some time with a friend, and it triggered a childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this on my story a little bit. I just kind of touched on it, but basically, it's the feelings of loneliness. And I realized about myself when I was younger. There were times where I needed support, or I needed like a space to be held
Yeah.
emotionally. And I just felt like my feelings were too big, or that they took up too much space. And it created a really negative pattern of like suppressing my feelings.
Yeah.
If I needed to cry, like unless I had a panic attack, it just wouldn't come out. And a lot of the things that I was like stressing about, I would hold in my body. And because I have disordered eating and eating disorder, it just kind of compounded those problems already. And it was just something that I had to like talk to with my therapist. I had to journal about and just kind of figure out why I felt that way. And basically, what I've come to is that I don't really believe there's such thing as your feelings being too big. It's possible that it's too much for one person to hold, but I don't think your feelings are ever too big. I don't think there's a feeling that's ever invalid, like anger or sadness. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as crying too much or too little. But because I was invalidating my own feelings, I would, push those things away. It just made my own process a lot harder, and anything that was like negative, it was a lot harder for it to like pass through me. It would just kind of get like stuck someplace in my body, and I had to learn new habits and just rewrite the trauma and figure out different kinds of coping, so that when things emotionally were really traumatizing or trying just like really heavy to get through, I had different avenues in which I could get those feelings through, and I wouldn't have to like have them stick on me anymore. But it is something that I still am like trying to figure out, because I don't have it all together. I don't have all the answers, and there
Yeah.
are definitely things that come up at different times. So right now it's just been acknowledging all my feelings and all of its wholeness, and as it comes, just validating it. If I feel sadness, I'm just gonna tell myself, okay, I'm sad. I'm gonna cry about this. It doesn't matter who's around me. It doesn't matter how anybody else feels about it. It doesn't matter if I feel like I'm being annoying or if I'm taking up too space. I'm gonna cry about it, because that's what I need for this thing to pass through me. That's valid, and anybody else who disagrees with it, I don't have to listen to that, because it's just invalidating myself. And before anybody else can, I have to hold a safe space for me.
Yeah.
Because my body and my mind are my home, and I'm not going to live in a broken home. So that's
Yeah.
just been the thing that I've been trying to do lately. Just be like kinder to my mind, and not let my inner critic overrun my feelings all the time.
That is, thank you for sharing that. I just want to say that because I feel like there's a lot of people who are there or have been there. And I know that my mind is always on 1,000, like between always having running thoughts and having anxiety, like my mind is always running. So I literally
Mm-hmm.
have to talk to myself out loud to like slow my mind down. Like today I was ready to just lay in bed all day,
Yeah.
and I had to tell myself, like I had to talk to myself like I was the parent. And like I was making my bed and I was in my whole Yes, and
Yes.
my whole body was like, I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like finish this one task and then we can lay down. And that's what I kept telling myself. And I was like, do we want the door open or closed? Do you want some water? And I was like
Yes.
talking to myself like this. And anybody else who like was around, like I didn't care. No one was home. But I was just like, what do you need? Okay, I acknowledge that you need this thing, Bria, but to be a little proactive so we don't have to do this later and we can lay down longer. We're
No.
gonna just get these little things out of the way.
Yes, I
But
do that too. Like anytime I just have a lot of things to think about, I don't have to necessarily be like in a panic state. I talk to myself too because it just helps me like air out some of the things that I'm thinking about, and it's like when you hear things out loud, it's different when you hear it. You
Mm-hmm.
reaffirming whatever you need or whatever needs to be like talked through. I think that's why like talk therapy and talking to your friends is so helpful. But you can do that for yourself too, and like it's the reparenting thing, and it's so powerful.
Yes. Like I had to let myself just like be today. I was like, okay, we don't have to work. Like just be, just like
Like,
I literally did nothing today, but I took care of myself, and that's
that's
what I
not
did.
nothing. That's not nothing. That's productive. Taking care of yourself is a priority.
Say it again for the people in the
Take
back.
care of yourself is a priority.
It is. I think it's so overlooked, and like specifically for me right now in this moment, like I'm menstruating. Like I need to be kind to myself. Like there's no reason why I should be like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like no, like your body is going through a lot. You hormonal changes, you're passing things, like you're hot, then you're cold. Like just chill, babe. What do you need? What do you need? And so it's like really being a good partner to yourself. Like that's the way I think of it. Like what anything that I would want from someone else, I have to give it to myself. Okay?
Yes. Do it for yourself first.
Right.
Yes.
People might call me crazy, but whatever.
Who? Who?
I love me.
Who? Not
I
me.
love me.
Not
I
me.
love
You're not
me.
gonna hear it from me.
I love me.
I'm here to validate that. Yes. Yes.
Oh, this is why we all need friends who will hype us up. Because now I'm gonna like, I talk to myself anyway, but now I'm just gonna be like even more unapologetic about it. Like I sing to
Yes.
myself in the grocery store. People might, sorry, I think I'm a good singer, but you know, to each their own. Oh, I don't know. Is there anything on your heart to share right now? Do you have any questions for me?
Ooh. Um. Well, I didn't really come with anything. I just wanted to kind of leave the door open for anything that needed to come up. So I don't have anything specifically that I needed to like ask or know, but I would love to know if there are any questions. I'm like really curious if there are any.
Are there any questions? Let's see. Anyone else have any questions for us? Because I've been talking a lot. I need a break. Let's give everybody a moment to ask us a question. Whatever you want. We here for you.
Yeah, this has been like a therapy session.
What do you need help with? Okay, okay. We have one in the queue. A question is coming. I wish I could play music on here and not get like shut down. Okay. You're doing a self-care day. I'm here for it. We love it.
Ooh.
Ooh. What should you do?
Yeah, you already know what I'm gonna say. Don't be shy. Do some yoga. Ooh.
Do yoga?
Yeah. Just some like super slow movement. Just like flowing it out. You could do it to the beat of some music.
That's my type of yoga.
Right? It's just like super slow. It's just really meditative.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to really worry about the moves or trying hard or like making your body burn. You just like move really slowly and flow with whatever feels good. Even if that's literally taking a nap on the mat.
Oh, guilty.
That's just as good. That's just as good. That's just as good.
I do yoga every so often. I don't do it as regularly as I used to, but I never go in with a plan. Like I always do the same routine over and over just because like that's what my body likes, but like I literally just lay there most of the time and just like shavasana, like just lay there.
Yeah, I don't really either. I just kind of start warming up my muscles, like rotating my joints. That's pretty much the only thing that I really try to do when I start my yoga practice. Outside of that, I really just kind of see where it takes me. But I find myself doing a lot of like sun asanas, most of the time.
Mm,
Sun salutations and like warrior um, flows.
yeah,
Yeah, that's like my favorite stuff to do.
that's your favorite act of self-care?
Um, I would also say taking a walk. I love taking walks, especially when you don't have anything else to do. You can just like be really present, just sit and listen to the birds. I love a good walk.
Uh, the inchworms are coming out over here, which is like, I'm not here for that.
What?
There's inchworms that like hang in the trees, and like when you're walking, they'll be like in your hair or they'll be on your shoulder. And like, I would love to go for a walk today, but no, it's spring in North Carolina.
What?
The
I didn't know that
inchworms
was a thing.
will come for you. But no, I'm here for it any other season but spring.
Wait, do they like bite or they just like
No,
smell
they
it?
don't bite, but like they just freak you out because like there's something crawling on you, and then you're like, what is
It's not funny.
this?
That's kind of
it,
scary.
it actually is. It actually is. Like my 7-year-old sister, she saw one a few days ago, and she was like, "Okay, it looks like I'm staying inside until we go to the swimming pool." I was like, "You are the cutest." But what are some of my favorite self care activities? I love a good shower. Um, like literally whenever I'm feeling heavy or like there's stuff on my mind, like just to like literally wash all the worry away. Like let it just wash right off my body, go down the drain. If I can, I will wash my hair because like the scalp is just it's a different experience when your scalp is just like squeaky clean. Like I love that feeling. And I love lighting candles. I love aromatherapy. So
Me too. I
yes.
love candles. I love candles, incense, Palo Santo, just anything that.
Yes. Yes, I'm all here for aromatherapy. And I just love to dance. My mom just bought the Switch, and we've been playing Just Dance, and whoo, you can't tell me nothing. You
Okay,
can't tell me anything.
when Just Dance comes on, I am a dancer. I
Period.
am a dancer. The minute I hear the little dun, 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 it's over. I am in Boogie Nights. I'm right there with John Travolta. I am a dancer. When Just Dance comes on.
I feel that.
I
Oh,
love the dance so
what's some of your favorite songs to dance to on Just Dance?
So I normally do it on YouTube just because I can like mix the different eras of Just Dance or the different
Yeah.
what is that called? Like not episodes, but like the different it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But anyway, I really like to dance to Pump It, the Black Eyed Peas, the Ketchup song. It's in Spanish. I can't remember who it's by. Um, I really there's this one called the Michael Jackson Experience, and it's like Just Dance, but it's just Michael Jackson. So I recommend that if you're a fan of
Yeah.
Just Dance. And specifically, there's a song called Sunset Rider, which I really love, and Speed Demon. And basically, the whole dance is just jumping around and spinning in circles, which is my favorite dance move. So, like when a song comes on, I just jump. That's like that's the only move that I really do. That's like my perfect medium. Uh, you could say I am a raver at heart because all I do is jump.
I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
What about you?
I love some of my favorite songs are like childhood favorite song, it's Rainin' Men. Nobody could beat me at that game. Like, don't even try to beat my high score because like I'm coming for you.
Okay, because I want to play Just Dance with you now.
We can make this happen. We can make this happen. My current favorite song is I Like It, the Cardi B song. Like it's one of those with like 3 people and the one backup dancer with locks. He just goes hard. Like I don't know what it is about his character. Like he just really like gives it his all. And like I just take on a whole different person. I should probably show a little bit more mercy to my little sister when we play, because like she's like, Bria, you're gonna win, you're gonna win. I'm like, this is my song. I'm sorry, I I don't care. I'm giving it my all. If you don't want to lose, you can put down the remote. If you don't play, you never lose. Like,
Oh my gosh.
oh, now my true colors showing. I'm very competitive, but I don't like to play games because I know how competitive I am. But that's just me knowing myself.
I'm not like that at all. I feel like I'm so like peacemaker that I'm like, it's okay if you won all of them. It's cool.
But that's like, I wasn't gonna go here, but like me and Zoel both have a Virgo moon.
Yeah.
Which that's probably why we're like right here, all the time. But I don't know. Let us know your sign in the comments, and we can like vibe out. If you're like,
yes,
I'm a Scorpio with a Virgo moon.
My sun is Taurus and my moon is a Virgo. I feel like Tauruses are rare because it's so hard to meet them. I've only met like one.
Really?
So, yeah. So if you're a Taurus, let me know.
You're the second Taurus I've met. I don't meet many water signs, so those are rare to me. Like, I'm a Scorpio, and I have never met another water sign. Not that I know of.
I talk to a lot of water signs and fire signs. Like, I feel like I meet a lot of those.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, with fire signs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My sister, who I keep referring to, the 7-year-old, she's a Leo. Don't let her know I told you all this because she likes to keep her private life private. But she don't have Instagram right now. And
wow. Expose her.
But I have a Leo North node, which just basically means that's like how I'm going to like actualize my fullest potential if I follow that path. But like we butt heads so much, and it's because like her Leo energy and my Leo energy is just like, it's like chaotic almost. She's like, I want to be the best, but I'm like, why can't I be the best too? Like, why can't we do this great thing together? But
no, my sister's a Virgo, and then my bestie's a Leo. So I've actually never really met a Leo before, or like been close to a Leo or a Virgo. Like, my sister's the only one, but let me tell you, Virgo energy is an energy all on its own. It is its own lane, its own person. It is all in a league all on its own.
Say it again. A league of their own. I have my aunt, my mom, my best friend, all Leos. I mean, not Leos, they're all Virgos. And then I have a Virgo moon. You have a Virgo moon. My other friend has a Virgo moon. Virgos think they know everything. They think they know everything.
I'm not going to claim that. I'm a Taurus or I'm a Virgo. Okay, I don't know everything.
I don't. But like, I think it's really funny that I attract so many Virgos into my life. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't really know what a lot, like the signs that I attract, because I don't really look into astrology all that much. I mean, somebody else chart for me. That's the only reason why I know my moon and my sun. And like every time I meet someone who's very knowledgeable about astrology, I learn something new. So this is all news to me, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's somewhat aligned with my sign, but also not really, because Tauruses are supposed to be like very lazy and.
Whoa, who told you that?
I don't know. I've been on astrology Instagrams for too long. Maybe that's it.
We've gotten way off topic, but I'm happy to be here talking about astrology. Basically, I look at astrology in a very holistic way. Like, we're not all just one thing. Like, that's why you probably don't identify with everything that's being said in the Taurus, because like you have a Virgo in you as well, and then like you're rising, and then like the positions of all the planets and other like constellations and all that stuff, like that plays a role into it too. So it's like take what you like, leave what you don't, because like,
Oh my gosh, astrology is so layered.
it's deep. For what reason I don't know, but
Who made this up, dude? This is crazy.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Well, yeah.
If no one else has any questions, comments, topics, Bree is all out of questions. But I'm here to
I
chat
didn't even
a
bring any
little bit longer. Wait,
questions.
what?
I said I didn't even bring any questions, but I do have a question for you now. I just want to check in with you, see how you're doing. How are you
Oh,
feeling? What's happening with you?
oh my gosh, that's a loaded question. Where to start? I am in this place. Like, obviously, I'm building my business, building my community, building my brand, and I'm working with a lot of people behind the scenes, you know.
Take the space to
Um,
manifest.
yes,
Wherever you want to come into fruition.
yes. And I've been really leaning into lifestyle design lately because, like, there's so many things, or so many areas of people's lives that we don't consider, like, changing things up. And that's where I've been leaning lately. Like, I've been talking a lot about my business because that's the biggest area in my life right now that's expanding. But, like, I'm on this journey of living a more zero waste life, like I mentioned before. Like, this might be a little TMI for some, but this is my first like period where I'm using like all reusable products, like no
Oh,
single use plastic, no single use pads, like none of that stuff. Like, it's all reusable, and it's been a journey, and it's like I want to share all of these like little nuggets from like the different ways that I'm trying to live my best authentic life for myself. And I'm thinking about taking YouTube a little bit more seriously. Don't hold me to it, Zoel. Please don't hold me to
yeah.
it. Please
You will not
don't.
put any pressure for me. Trust me, because I have not been consistent. I post when I can. I know the name of the game is consistency, but I believe in self-preservation. And
Period.
anytime that I feel like I'm about to kill myself for a video, I don't. Because the thing is, I mean, I work every day. Every single day, I'm trying to like
Yeah.
propel myself forward and push for things that I'm trying to achieve. But am I going to put myself in a negative space and make everybody else suffer for it? No.
No. Right.
First thing before anything else is acknowledging myself in this space because I live with other people and
Right.
they're considerate of me. And I'm not just going to push myself to my limits and make everybody else suffer the consequences of it
Mhm.
for a job or for money. It's just not worth it to me. And it's not being like it's not aligning myself with what I say that I am.
Yeah. Exactly.
On the zero waste note, like you said, I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad that we're here. Okay, so I have been on this journey now, like a similar one, for a while. I have recently heard the term low waste. I think it is over no waste because
Yeah.
it is just less restrictive.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like with veganism.
Mhm.
Some people who have just kind of made it feel like this really rigid thing, and if you use any plastic, if you make a mistake, you're no longer welcome in the community. And I don't believe in exclusivity. I believe in, building a safe space in a community. So there are days I use plastic. There are days that I have bought something that wasn't ethical, and there are days that, I'm using something that ideally I would not want to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that like I'm not still trying to do these things. It means I'm still in transition because it's not you snap your fingers and you're in this other space. It's not black and white. Like there's
Yeah.
transitions, there's things you have to like create new habits.
Literally.
And it's difficult because it's a lifestyle change. And I started off kind of in the same space as a lot of other people, just using like paper bags, and then I got reusable bags, and then I've been working with brands that like I align with ethically and trying to use things that are as low
Mhm.
as I can, and just like making the small switches so that I can make bigger changes.
Yes.
And that has been my goal. I'm actually about to put out a video about just honoring your moon cycle and uh, loving yourself and just like being in tune with your body, because I feel like when you're on your cycle, it's like a meditative place because it's
Mm-hmm.
harder to do a lot of things. And so just being present is so important because it's so easy to like check out or get mad at yourself for having this experience or going through whatever your body is going through. But now that I'm like, okay, I'm honoring my body, I'm putting in A, B, and C efforts to do better for the planet, do better for my body, and I'm sleeping more if I need to, and just like honoring whatever my body is asking of me, it's just become such like a loving experience every month that I am really thankful to be going through, because there are people who just don't have periods, and it can be due to trauma or
Mm-hmm.
self-inflicted um, things that they're going through. And I'm really grateful that like I have a healthy cycle. I have the honor of knowing that my body is doing this thing that it's supposed to do and the timing that it's supposed to do it, and I don't really have to do anything except just be thankful for it.
Right. I love everything you said because my relationship with my period 10 years ago has completely transformed, and I'm so grateful that I'm not like, oh, I hate this time of the month. Like now I'm like, oh yes, I get to like cuddle up in bed and watch a movie and spend some time with myself. Like I like that you touched on all of that stuff because like, oh, and that's just like the big piece about like creating a more aligned life with your needs. Like, and it's not gonna happen overnight because like I'm vegan. I'm trying to live ethically and be as low waste as possible. I love that term better than zero waste, low waste. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's supposed to happen over the course of your lifetime. And that's all what I stand for. Like it's an evolving journey. We're constantly all
Yeah.
in transition. Like we're always working to get closer to the best version of ourselves, the best version of the life that we want to live. And it's just like, if you need help and support in that area, I'm here to help you. Like that is basically what I do. Like, and
Yeah.
it's every area of your life because it's really hard to talk about every aspect of like lifestyle design when it comes down to like relationships and like manifesting money or pets or like your dream car. Like there's so many things. It just depends on what you want your life to look like. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to share a little bit of my journey and what I'm doing because I literally just got my learner's permit 2 days ago. So
Congratulations! Oh my gosh!
one step closer to that dream car, baby.
Congratulations! Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Also, I think a lot of people are like, okay, what can I do now to like make this thing happen? But I mean, before you, it's kind of like when you're about to run a race. You don't just like
Mm-hmm.
start running. The night before, you consider what you're eating, you sleep a specific amount that you need so that you can like be at your optimum performance. So it's the same kind of thing with lifestyle design. Like you might need to address some traumas that you're struggling with before you start jumping into all these other things that might trigger you or make things
Exactly.
harder, because you want to work harder, not smarter, especially if you have a long-term goal. If it takes longer to get there because you're harboring traumas, you get frustrated because there's just
Yeah,
things where there's just baggage that you still have to address and take care of.
exactly.
That's why I think it's so important to just check in and also always be just like doing a quick little check. Like if you're a car, you just check your tires all the time just to make sure that you're not gonna like bust a tire in the freeway. It's just
Yeah,
always important to make sure that you're not hindering yourself when you can be helping yourself.
yeah. And that's all about intentionality, baby. You got to be intentional with the time that you spend with yourself, connecting with yourself, reconnecting and reevaluating and figuring out if what you decided is still sustainable. Because that's another thing. People think they choose one thing and then, like, oh, that's the end all be all. I have to be like this for the rest of my life. And it's like, if it no longer serves the end goal, like you were saying, it's time to say thank you, for all that you brought me and for allowing me to get this far. On to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. On
And
that lesson, don't hate yourself for it, and then move on.
yes, and I think in the like last few like times we talked on like the podcast and stuff, I was telling you how like I did not like that I was living with my family and stuff. And it's like I'm still working through that. I'm
Yeah,
still working through it. It's been a year. I've been home for a year, and it's just like it doesn't happen overnight that I'm like accepting the fact that I'm here. Like it took me a while to first unpack my bags and my boxes and all that stuff for moving back home, and I just bought a desk and a rug and like actually making this room homey because I'm accepting that this is where I'm going to be, and there's no reason that I shouldn't get a desk because I'm waiting to get it in the new place because I'm not in the new place. I'm not
yeah,
there.
yeah. Dude, that is a lesson that I have to learn. You can't hate yourself out of a situation.
You can't.
You can't hate your situation away, or like wish that you are not living with somebody, or in the situation that you are, and that's going to get you out of it. I think just first of all, acknowledging where you're at and just being grateful that you're in a starting place is such a great place to be, because you let go of so much stress that you have from like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, because you're not always thinking about like all the list of things that makes you upset, or the list of things that you hate
Exactly.
about where you're at. You're like, actually, I'm so grateful I get to shower whenever I need to.
Right.
Food in the fridge. There's heat. I have a roof over my head. I can take a walk when I want to. I'm
Right.
like, there's so many things that you're granted when you're with other people, or you're given a safe space. The hating is just not worth it. Like the
Yeah.
anger and the built up stress is just not worth it. My favorite line. Why be sad when you can be glad?
Oh my gosh. I literally had that moment the other day when I was like, I have running water. I have running water. And then it went to the place of I have hot running water. Because like
Oh
I remember when
gosh.
I was in the military and like your girl was taking lukewarm showers and like
Mm,
it did the job. But when I took my first shower when I came home with hot water,
no.
it's different.
Okay. I was on a mission one time in Mexico, and they build houses for people, and I was staying in this mission. It was like kind of in the desert. First of all, it was freezing cold at night because it's a desert.
Yeah.
There was no heat. There was no like what's that called? Insulation. So like the cold would just come in, and I would be wearing like 3 jackets at once, 2 pairs of pants, 3 socks, a blanket, and I'd be in this ball trying to like warm up all of this fabric so that I could
Right.
go to sleep. And I like, if I needed to go to the bathroom, it was kind of like a gas station bathroom, so like there you could see people's feet underneath. So there was like, I never really felt privacy, and I remember that so vividly, because there are times when I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, I can literally lock the door and no one's gonna come in. Like
Say
they're just
again.
gonna give me my space to go poop, and no one's gonna bother me. That is incredible. Like I get to go to the bathroom in peace whenever I want.
You have no idea how that hits home for me. If anyone has ever been in the military, specifically the Marine Corps, there's no locks on any bathrooms. There's no,
Oh my
you're just
god.
using the bathroom in front of everybody. Like there's an open door. And then like, say, the whole platoon has to use the bathroom. There's somebody rushing you to use the bathroom so they can go. So it's like, that hit when you said that. Like I understand that. And then there's like the whole piece of privacy. Like I have my own room right now. Like the last few times we've talked, that wasn't the case. Like I'm so grateful that I have this space where I can close the door and like my aura fully fills this room and it's
Yes.
just my energy in here.
You just have space for peace.
Right? I do.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked so much about so many things, and I hope that like if this is a girl chat, you're supposed to feel like you're just sitting at home with your friends, just seeing
Just
where the
drinking
conversation
tea.
goes. Right. I guess in like closing, if you want to share anything, plug anything, you can. Here's your
Well,
space.
if you guys want to check out my TikTok, I do a lot of art. I review things. I do vlogs, and on my YouTube, I have lots of conversations like this. It's just a safe space where you can like hang out if you want to unplug from something that you're stressed about. I'd like to think that my videos are a good outlet. I try to give as much like advice and coping as I can as I go through them and learn them. And on my Instagram, it's the same vibe. We're just hanging out, having a good time. Also, feel free to reach out to me. I always try to respond to everything people like DM me or ask me, and just be like as active as I can and checked in with you guys as possible.
We're here for you.
I'm here for you. Also, last plug, my Depop.
Plug it. She's got art, y'all.
My Depop is mostly clothes that other people have given to me to sell, or is from my closet. So first of all, I'm so glad that people have done that for me, because it really supports me financially, and it's giving me so much peace. But I really am trying to like sell more clothes and just not have so much of like the physical feeling of having clothes, especially the ones that I'm not wearing. So yeah, if you're looking to buy any new pieces, I recommend my Depop. And yeah, that's all my plugs. I'm just really glad to be here. I'm so grateful for this chat and for this space. And just to be here with you.
Yes, I want to keep holding space for beautiful people who are on beautiful journeys, because like you're gonna have a moment where you're gonna look back on this video and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, we got through that. Like we did that. I remember that. I'm so happy to be on the other side of that. So like this is why I do this, and like for anyone who follows on along either of our journeys, like you're gonna be able to see our growth. And that's the whole point, baby.
Yes.
We're out here evolving and living our best authentic life. Like, so yeah, that's all I have for you all. If anybody wants to connect and reach out to me, I'm offering free alignment sessions right now. So if you want to like get your life in check and see where you're going and where you want to go, I'm here for you. So yeah, we love you. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so this will be on the podcast soon, but for now you can just watch the IGTV replay, and we'll see you next time. And remember, you're an inspiration, and I love you, and keep doing you.
Yay, you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay! Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. Bye. Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed today's girl chat. I loved having these conversations and I'm sure you're going to enjoy tomorrow's episode as well. But before you go ahead and click to the next girl chat, I want you to share your thoughts on this one. So you can go to the comments and share your key takeaways, what gem resonated with you, and just let us know your thoughts. And so, yeah, we want to keep the conversation going. We want to keep the girl chat going, even though it's over. But you can start the conversation down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are listening on the podcast, I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode and tag us at Doulas Bloom on Instagram and let us know your thoughts. Same thing, keep the conversation going, share it with a friend, let us know your key insights, your key takeaways, and yeah, I want to know your thoughts. How did you feel today's girl chat went? What resonated with you? So yes, that is what I want. And then I will see you tomorrow. For the next girl chat, and I'm so excited about this series. So excited about it. So but I will see you tomorrow for the next girl chat, and yeah, I love y'all. Bye.